Now, this is something that I suspected a little bit. This case just gets more and more curious as the time goes on. I mean, this case is huge in my eyes. Canadian teacher with size Z breasts, Kayla Lemieux, spectacularly claims that they are real. Now, it gets a lot more interesting, right? Because everybody knows that this is the alleged trans teacher with the big, massive hunkers. You've no doubt seen them, yeah? Well, the Canadian high school teacher who goes to work wearing size Z prosthetic breasts incredibly claimed that they're not fake and denied being the person photographed leaving home without them, but acknowledged that she can't prove it because that's another thing that came out recently. The the busty, busty female, Lemieux, was allegedly spotted outside of their home dressed like just a normal everyday guy and not with those gigantic mammaries. Now, I'll save it for the end, right? Because I'm gonna bring up the 4chan post. I'm gonna bring up the 4chan post, right? Because I mentioned this a little bit in the last video that I did. I'm not wearing prosthetic breasts. These are real, Kayla Lemieux told the Post during an exclusive interview on Saturday. Now, that seems like, Jesus Christ, they're obviously not real. What an insane thing to claim, right? Wait for it at the end. Lemieux, who wore women's clothing with a blonde wig, makeup, and her enormous breasts, said she's not a transgendered person but was born intersex. My condition is classified as gigantomastia, which can also be referred to as macromastia or breast hypertrophy. I mean, well, those two things would definitely be trophies, wouldn't they? Lemieux said during a sit down at a cafe in Burlington near Toronto. It's rare, there's no doubt about it. It affects women on a very rare basis, but in my case, I believe, and my doctor thinks, because I have XX chromosomes as well, that has something to do with it, and hormone sensitivity to estrogen has caused it. When pressed for proof, Lemieux, who spoke in a soft, high-pitched voice with a pronounced Canadian accent, said that she'd never received a formal diagnosis. Lemieux also, I mean, if you wake up with those things on you, I don't think you need a doctor. I don't think you need a doctor. You know, it's a bit self-evident that something's gone a bit wrong, hasn't it? Lemieux also denied being the person who was photographed by the Post last week, driving out of her apartment building and walking on a sidewalk a short time later. Better show the picture. The person, who was dressed in men's clothing and did not have breasts, bore a striking resemblance to the teacher and was identified by a neighbour as Lemieux. I can't tell you who that is because I don't want to bring anyone else into this. I don't want that person being thrown all over the media, but it wasn't me, Lemieux said. This is who I am, this is how I look. You've been talking to people in my building, but what they're telling you is harsh and untrue. I'm always going out looking the way I am. Asked if her appearance ever differed from the way she looked at the time, Lemieux says, I guess if I took my wig off or took my makeup off. And you've seen the face. It's him. That's the guy. Like that's him. That's the big baby woman, right? The man with the big honkers. It's him, right? There he is. Like even the face. He's realised. Oh fuck! I'm being photographed. Oh shit! Like the mouth, the eyes, the nose. They're all perfect match. That's him. Uh, but I would still have breasts, you can't hide them. People online making comments are basically body shaming, Lemieux added. Lemieux has sparked worldwide controversy since photos and videos of her went viral last year, shortly after she began working as a shop teacher at Ontario's Oakville Trafalgar High School in September. The school has also been subjected to repeated bomb and gun threats, with targeted threats made against Lemieux and school officials. Students have also reportedly been threatened with suspension if they snap photos or shoot video of Lemieux on school grounds. Lemieux told the Post that she began undergoing hormone replacement therapy in 2021 and was in transition. I identify as a woman, female, she, her, Lemieux said. When asked if the hormone therapy was responsible for the size of her breasts, she said, yes. My whole life I've been identifying as male. I've been looking like a male. When I decided to embrace this other side of me around age 39, this presented itself. So basically, I thought about having the great big bazongas, and the great big bazongas were just willed. You know, you need to will it into existence. What is it? What is it? All those books say you have to will it with the power of your mind. You can will it into existence. You too can have great big giant size Z fun bags if you just think about them hard enough. I mean, Jesus, I think about size Z fun bags all the time. So that's not true. Lemieux, something else gets bigger when I do that. Lemieux said that being intersex can mean different things to different people, but generally, as a male, you're born with XY chromosomes and women with XX chromosomes. Intersex people can have a mixture of these two different sets of chromosomes. It can be something they don't even know about. It can show up in other physical attributes at birth, so it can be more obvious or less obvious depending on the person, Lemieux said. The famed Cleveland Clinic describes gigantomastia, which Lemieux claims she has, as a rare condition that involves developing extremely large breasts due to excessive breast tissue growth, with only about 300 cases reported. It affects people assigned female at birth. If you have gigantomastia, you'll experience rapid and disproportionate breast growth. The speed at which your breast can grow can vary from over a few weeks to over several years. If anybody has that condition, by the way, my DMs on Twitter are actually open. It's just a curious scientific perspective. If anybody does have that condition, if you could message me and let me know, I'm very interested in having a conversation. It can happen during puberty, pregnancy, or from taking medication. In some cases, it occurs spontaneously and for no reason. I've seen some hentai videos kind of like that. I'm not into inflation porn. I'm sick of. I fucking hate that meme now. I really don't like that meme. Photos and videos of Lemieux shot in school have shown her wearing tight clothing with large nipples protruding under the fabric of her top. Outraged parents demanded that the Halton District School Board impose a dress code for teachers, which was initially rejected last year due to concerns about violating Ontario's Human Rights Code. And you seen that? I've made the joke last time. Imagine that getting caught in the orbital saw. Jesus. In January, the school board agreed. Imagine it just burst. It just went. Just popped a titty in the middle of class. In January, the school board agreed to develop a policy requiring that teachers maintain an appropriate and professional appearance, but a Wednesday school board meeting erupted in raucous public complaints, according to the National Post. Cops were called after several board members left the room, and one woman reportedly was ejected. Julia Mallett, a transgender mum from Kitchener, Ontario, attended the meeting and spoke in favour of a dress code that would allow teachers to express their self-identified genders. But Mallett, 32, told the Post that she was baffled by Lemieux's prosthetic breasts. I cannot fathom why someone would wear something that publicly sexualises themselves in such a way, Mallett said. What they were wearing is absolutely not appropriate for school. It is fetish wear used in sex work and the drag industry or people in their own houses who enjoy it. It is certainly not something I want my daughter to see. Mallett also said when you transition, your goal is to blend in to the extent that's possible. When someone wears such large prosthetic breasts, which captures international attention, that's what's left in many people's minds about trans people in general, she said. It doesn't cast a good light. Lemieux told the Post that she would follow the direction of the board on what they mandated, but denied that she dressed in a provocative fashion. I don't think there's any problems with how I have dressed. It's the personal opinion of other people. I don't think I have dressed unprofessionally, she said. I am covered up in all of these photographs that have been taken. There were some comments in the fall about me wearing what they called bicycle shorts, and they said it was inappropriate. Oh yeah, I also done a fucking skydive. He did a skydive as well. I mean, at least if the parachute didn't work, he'd have been fine. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at that. But, I mean, good thing that's a black visor. You know that guy's just like under the visor. It doesn't know what to do. Oh. But if you look at those pictures, they come nearly to my knees. You could call them short leggings in a way. There are teachers wearing leggings to school all the time, she added. When asked about her prominent nipples, Lemieux... I'm sorry, I don't know why that statement's so funny. When asked about her prominent nipples, Lemieux declined to answer. I can't even make it through it. Lemieux also said she was fit to be a school teacher and said she's never discussed my personal life in the classroom. The narrative is I look sexualized. That is a narrative that is being constructed, she said. People look the way they look. They can't help it. You should embrace the way you are. You should be confident in the person you are. Lemieux added, if I had a low opinion of myself or if I didn't have such a wonderful self-image, I would have been crushed by everything that's gone on in the media. But to me, it's just background noise. It's very annoying and it's a bit scary, actually, she added. When asked why she agreed to break her silence and speak publicly, Lemieux acknowledged that it took some courage. Sorry. Sore neck again. I am trying to show I am a person, I have feelings, and I am trying to show people I am human, she says. Pardon me. I am not trying to win anybody over or get anyone on my side. People will believe whatever they want to believe. It's time to get my story out there. Yes, it's time to get them out there, Lemieux. Representatives of Oakville Trafalgar High School and the Halton District School Board and the Ontario Education Ministry didn't immediately return requests for comment. Okay, now, the fact that he's been caught out in public now not wearing it, everybody remembers the 4chan post where it was someone... Hold on. I think I've breathed in a bloody hair. Well, there was a 4chan post, and allegedly to all of this, right? Where the guy claimed that he was a student, like, at the school, and the guy, sorry, Miss Lemieux, back when he was presenting his mail, was dropping red pills in the class, saying a bunch of misogynistic stuff, and ended up getting in trouble with the school board for some of the comments. Basically, the guy was a little bit of a shit poster, a little bit of an edgy boy. It turns out that back then we would have gotten along on a lot of things. Then the school board started coming after him for his red-pilled and based comments, and then he started doing this. And I did say, see if it turns out that this guy is just doing one of the biggest, this could be one of the biggest trolls in history. Just making an absolute mockery of this entire, oh, you can't say anything. Oh, if they're trans, you can't say anything. See how that Family Guy joke, oh, you can't watch porn at the bar? Actually, I'm trans. Oh, in that case, do whatever you want all the time. Like that's him. And I think, Jesus Christ, the fact that he's been seen out in public just stoating around as like a little random guy, not with his great big bazongas on or anything like that. See if it turns out this whole time that he's been fucking trolling. Holy shit. Incredible. Teach me. Jesus Christ. If it turns out, that would be the funniest fucking thing ever. And then if he gets fired because he gets caught, he should turn it into a character and make YouTube videos and stuff like that. That'd be funny. That'd be absolutely hilarious. Right, so, again, he's not admitting it. He's keeping it going. You know, he's very invested in the bit. I'm not saying, you know, maybe Miss Lemieux, maybe that really was... What really was just some poor random guy out there that had the exact same face as Miss Lemieux. Maybe it was. Who knows? But... Oh, it's all going to come out one day. It's all going to come out one day, and I'm fucking excited. I need to see what this ends with.